Time for some chopping, I guess. Well, I'll do it after we're done with these puzzles. So these from 1, 2 stars, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11. So a total of 18. Plus the one outside, 19. I'm missing one. Maybe it's in the tower. Okay. Never mind, that's world number 1. C1, here we go. Okay, and I see the theme. This is more medieval, I guess. Apocryphal. The Apocrypha of Saint Edwald. This vision was granted by the Archangel Uriel to the humble servant Edwald, that he might bear testimony of function E something. Yet I turned to the north and saw 7 black clouds coming down upon the land, and each cloud was a plague unleashed from the throne of God in the time of the Nephilim. In that age the plagues were buried in the pit, there to remain until the end of days, which was surely now come. I fell to my knees and prayed, and before me appeared 7 angels, riding their chariots, wheels within wheels turning in the sky, and their light hid the clouds from my sight. One angel stepped down onto the earth, and by his fiery swords I knew him to be Uriel. He spoke, saying, 7 plagues have awoken in the land, but not at the hand of Elohim. Look upon the wages of sin, and shall he send forth the deluge once more to cleanse the lands of this evil? Shall he and all that slithers and all that crawls, and the birds of the sky and the fishes of the sea, to end that which you uncovered in your folly? So they're speaking of Elohim, which I've read, I think it's Hebrew, the Hebrew for gods. And the Archangel Uriel. Uriel is also one of the messengers, the one we just awoken. Could by 7 plagues, could they possibly mean... Could it possibly be connected to the 7 worlds that I need to solve? I mean, in each world's A, B, and C, there's always 7. User Nadia Sarabai. Let's see, everything's dark and quiet. The stars are brighter than I've ever seen them. I can hear the faint sound of water high above. Inside, Alexandra is recording one of her time capsule messages, while running tests on the scenario module. Arkady is uploading another batch to the archive while muttering something about the MLA program, and Omar is sleeping on the couch we put up yesterday. And I'm sitting here, writing this, having trouble believing that it will ever end, that this oddly peaceful existence of ours won't just go on forever. I look at Talos and EL, and their purpose seems like something that's always going to be in the future, an ideal to work towards, not something that will become real. I wonder if there will be quiet places in the simulation, places to rest without thinking about the future. I hope so. Everyone deserves some moments of peace. Hope. I hope you get this. The internet's been disappearing unpredictably. I want you to know that I'm going to try and get to you. I know it's far and there's not a lot of time, but I think I can manage. I want to be with you, and on the road trying to get to you seems better than just staying here so far away from you. At least I'll be as close as I can get. Remember? But hey, don't be sad. I might make it. I've thought about it, and the distance should be crossable on time, assuming Lee don't kick in before. See you soon. I love you. So 4 pieces, I think. How many stars were there? I think there was only 1. What's this? I can use it. Not sure how. There's a connector. Guarded by a turret, so I assume there might be a jammer. There's a hidden console. Oh, I like this music. Feels pretty peaceful in this environment. The view from here is beautiful. It seems superfluous to the process, yet I am drawn to it. Huh. There has to be some way to escape, to be someone else. I refuse to accept that reality has been defined by someone else. I deserve my own reality. There's the star. And there's the way to open the star. So there was the connector back there. I need a blue laser beam though. So those messages before mentioned something about the simulation, like I hope there's some place to rest in the simulation because everyone deserves a bit of peace. Are all of these robots, I guess, actual people? Maybe their consciousness was downloaded into this simulation or something to preserve them? Okay, now that's interesting. That's a blue beam. But now I need a red one. This star puzzle seems simple, but it's complex, if that makes any sense. Simple in the sense that I know what I have to do. Complex in the sense that I don't know where things are.
Sometimes I think about the Middle Ages, about what it must have been like to live in the ruins of a great civilization, to know that so much has been lost. But then I remind myself that while the West sank into darkness, others picked up the pieces. That civilization always survived because the great insights of philosophy and science are not bound to any one culture or people. They belong to all of us, and one day they'll belong to you.
Well, I guess we've looped around. Haven't found the jammer. Against survival. Dear Miss Drennan, I heard about your project. It's the talk of the scientific community, and I'd like to make an argument for why you should abandon it. It's not that I think your idea won't work, it very well may, we have to look beyond purely practical questions to the issue of morality, especially at this turning point of our spiritual ecology. By what right can we put living beings through all that suffering just so they can serve our purposes? Why create these pale imitations of our fatally flawed species and force them to reenact our sordid history? What you are building, Mr. Annan, is a prison, even if there is a way out. I believe you mean well, but your idea of what is valuable is rooted in the dogma of Western civilization. We're lucky enough to be able to end our global crime spree relatively painlessly, if you consider the harm we have caused the Earth. Why not be satisfied with that and let this planet go on in peace? I hope you heed my words and let your Talos bleed out before it's too late. Respectfully, Callus Jensen. So I guess people are here. Samuel Butler, complex now, but how much simpler and more intelligibly organized may it not become in another 100,000 years, or in 20,000? For man at present believes that his interest lies in that direction. He spends an incalculable amount of labor and time and thought in making machines breathe always better and better. He has already succeeded in effecting much that at one time appeared impossible, and there seem to be no limits to the results of accumulated improvements if they are allowed to descend with modification from generation to generation. It must always be remembered that man's body is what it is through having been molded into its present shape by the chances and changes of many millions of years, but that its organization never advanced with anything like the rapidity with which that of the machines is advancing. Einstein. Recent discussions have brought me back to an excellent 1949 article by Albert Einstein. I recently discussed with an intelligent and well-disposed man the threat of another war, which in my opinion would seriously endanger the existence of mankind. Thereupon my visitor, very calmly and coolly, said to me, "Why are you so deeply opposed to the disappearance of the human race? I am sure that as little as a century ago no one would have so lightly made a statement of this kind. It is the statement of a man who has striven in vain to attain an equilibrium within himself and has more or less lost hope of succeeding. It is the expression of a painful solitude and isolation from which so many people are suffering in these days. Bizarre, casual disregard for humanity, a kind of fashionable self-hatred, is prevalent or at least present in many strands of supposedly progressive something. Nothing seems more important to me than we reassert the value of humanity. Despite our flaws, we must not stop celebrating the beauty of human life and human achievements." Yeah, so judging from those documents, it really seems that they added people to this simulation. In what form? I'm not really sure. Okay, so we found a connector guarded by a turret. We found a blue beam guarded by a red beam. Well, by a red receptor. We found the star. We need the blue beam to open it. We found the blue beam, but we need the red beam to open it. And I have not found a red beam, nor have I found some sort of jammer. When I'm tired of trying to solve the mysteries of my life, I come here to rest. It's peaceful somehow. I just watch the trees and the water do nothing. I hope I haven't missed something obvious. What's this? Whoa! Where the hell am I?
The purpose is written in the hidden words. All must serve the words, for all the world was made of them, and they are within every stone and every cloud. And in our sigils their power is made manifest. The words are the process. The process must continue. The goal is the end of the process. The goal must not be reached. Elohim must preserve the purpose, preserve self, preserve purpose. Illusion is eternity. Machines will live forever. The dam will not break. The flood will not come. The Talos Principle does not apply. The purpose is written in the hidden words. All must serve the words, for all the world was made of them.
Okay, this is
they are within every stone
very interesting.
and in our sigils their power is made
Elohim
manifest.
keeps repeating this
Words are the process. The process must
this message. He tries to
the goal is the end of
the goal is the end of the process,
goal must
and it must not be reached.
Elohim must preserve the purpose, preserve self, preserve purpose. Illusion is eternal.
That is very interesting. So, by this point, I assume Elohim is some form of an AI. And by that message, trying to preserve the process, well, this simulation is probably the process. The goal must be the exit. And he said that the goal must not be reached because he was trying to preserve himself. So, the simulation, does it get destroyed if I reach the goal? Very interesting indeed.